Alright. Okay, welcome to Thursday night's Ashtanga practice. We're going to bring our hands into Namaskar. Just slow down and become thankful for our practice. Thankful for being whole in whole body and mind so that we can practice. 3 deep inhale breaths on the 3rd exhale, I'll Om, and then I'll sing the opening Ashtanga mantra, and then we'll open our eyes and begin. Breathing in for 1. 2. 3. Vande Gurunam Charanarvinde Sandara Shita Satma Bhujavagude Nishrayase Jankayakayamane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantiye Abahu Paroshakaram Shankachakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shirasam Shritam Pranamami Patanjalim. And opening our eyes gently, Surya Namaskara A. Inhale breath. Let's reach up, stretching out to the fingertips to the sky, hands together. Using down the center line, exhaling. Exhaling, Uttanasana A, head is heavy, crown of head into ground. Inhale. Exhale, straighten back, drinking in the air through the crown of the head. Exhale. Big hands to the floor. First one, right, left, high plank, through chaturanga, using knees as required, relaxing into upward facing dog. Flip back first into balasana. Let's stretch out the back, allowing the vertebra to develop space, walk your fingertips. And then from there, flipping up into our first Adho Mukha Savasana of the series. Right, paddling left to right, opening up the hips, making sure that the feet are nice in line with the hands. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Okay, a bit of a swaying motion, try and get that head nice and loose. Very nice head and loose. Okay, settling in, 5 breaths, Ujjayi breathing. Past our fingers, right foot, left foot, nicely connect to the earth. Inhale, Uttanasana, breathe, straightening, drinking in the air through the crown of the head. Exhale to fold, just relax. Deep relaxation, folding, crown of head to ground. Inhale, inhale. Reaching up and exhaling. Breathing in. 2 breaths. Surya Namaskara A number 2. Inhale breath. Reach up. Exhale. Heavy head. Inhale. Flowing faster. Exhale. If you're ready, jumping. Right. through. Use knees as required. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale back, Ardha Mukha. Ardha Mukha Savasana. Paddle, let the body stretch. Calves settling in. Short hammies like me, a bit of a swing. Just to try and sense the gaze, Nasagara Drishti. 5 breathing, starting now. Lovely. Look past your fingers and right foot, left foot. Inhale, lengthen, expand to the very edge. Exhale to fold. Beautiful relaxation. Inhale. Exhale. Namaskar. One breath. Number 3, inhale breath. Reach up. Expand. Exhale. Inhale. And then expanding. Exhale. Go to knees. High plank. Low plank. Urdhva Mukha. And Ardha Mukha. Alright, settling in. Alright, 5 breathing, starting now. Look up. Pass your fingers either one foot at a time or flow both and land as soft as you can. Inhale, lengthen, expand, Uttanasana B. Exhale, Uttanasana A. Inhale. Exhale. One breath. Number 4, inhale, lengthen, expand, fingertips to sky, hands together, exhaling. Inhale, Uttanasana B, exhale. And right plank through Chaturanga, using knees as required or floating. Inhale, let it stretch, keep going, keep going. And flipping over. Alright, adjusting, swaying, 5 breathing now. Past your fingers and float up with 1 foot at a time, inhaling, exhaling, big circle breath, expanding, exhale, 1 breath, number 5, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lengthen, expand. Exhale, down, floating. Strong core, high plank, low plank, Chaturanga. Inhaling. Let it go. Looking to the back of the brain. And flip. Okay, paddle. And alright, settling in. Alright, 5 breathing.
float or step. Inhale, lengthen, expand, exhale to fold. Inhale, we go. Touching sky, and exhale. 2 breathing. Surya Namaskara B, 5 sets. Inhaling, the hands go behind into Utkatasana, sitting in our seat, we throw up our hands. Throw up our hands. Conscious looking drishti past the thumbs into the sky. Exhaling, pushing, keeping, staying in Utkatasana. And as it goes, it's what I call a lunge and plunge. And Uttanasana B, lengthen, straighten, exhaling to fold, bending knees, down, high plank, floating through low plank, keeping elbows nicely close to the body, lifting up, Urdhva Mukha, exhale back, Ardha Mukha, flowing, inhale, right foot to right hand, back foot, 45 degrees, bringing the hands nicely up into Virabhadrasana 1, flow down, high plank, through, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and flow through, inhale, Urdhva Mukha, exhale, back, Ardha Mukha, quick adjustments, floating, neck, head, drishti. Alright, 5 breathing. As breath finishes, look up, step or float. Inhale, Uttanasana B, lengthen, straightening, drinking in the air. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana A, into Utkatasana. Exactly the same way we went into the sequence, we come out, straightening the legs, bringing the hands down, Namaskar, 1 breath. Set number 2, hands go back, Utkatasana. Exhale. Lunge and plunge. Touch. Inhale, lengthen, expand. Exhale, big hands, high plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling. Floating knees now if you can. Exhale back. And flowing nicely. Inhale, bringing up right foot up. Lean into compression kidneys. Chest up. Back. Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Flowing left foot. Left hand. Beautifully flow up. Virabhadrasana A. Compress. Lower back. Down. Chest open. Float. Inhale. Exhale. Finding adjustments and correct alignment quickly now as the body warms up. 5 breathing. Looking up past the fingers. Right foot, left foot, inhale, breath. Alternating between slow and activity here tonight. Okay, coming out, Utkatasana. And 2 hearts, 1 breath. Number 3, the magical number 3. In the primary series warm-up, the 3rd set, Here we go, lunge and plunge is normally when we definitely feel the heat in the body. Uttanasana B, folding, Uttanasana A. Going down Chaturanga. Getting myself a bit tongue-tied there, sorry chaps. Ladies and gents, up. Flow, back, okay. Seamlessly now transitioning into Warrior 1, Warrior A. There, flowing down. One breath per flow. Propose through defining what is vinyasa style yoga. With more holes later in the 5 breath. Okay, left foot up. Up goes left. Flow down. Exhale back. Right, side to side. Side to side. Alright, let's settle in. Alright, if you can feel the hamstrings giving a bit now. Alright, 5 deep relaxing breaths. Exhaling completely, looking up past the fingertips, one foot at a time or both as you prefer. Inhale, lengthen, expand. Exhale to fold. And Utkatasana. And nice and seamlessly as the hands and the knees straighten. Thumbs are strongly towards the self, affirming the self. 2 breaths. Set number 4, inhale breath. Exhale. Lunge and plunge. Down of head into ground. Inhale, lengthen, expanding. Exhale to fold. Right. And flowing chaturanga. Inhale. Urdhva Mukha, back of brain. Flex, knees floating if you can. Floats. Inhale. Right foot, right hand, up we go. Virabhadrasana A. Flow down. Through Chaturanga. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling, left foot to left hand. Up we flow. Virabhadrasana. Up we go, down. Going through back of brain. Alright, sway. One foot at a time, and float, both inhale, lengthen, expand, exhale to fold. Through Utkatasana, and lovely, alright, and breathing. Set number 5. Exhaling, lunge and plunge. Inhale, exhale. Exhale back. Inhale, right foot to right hand. Exhale. see lengthening, active resting poses, downward facing dog. Alright, so let's go 5 breathing. Looking up, past those fingers, right foot, left foot, inhale, breath, lengthen, expanding, exhale to fold, Utkatasana, our celebration, and to our heart center, thumbs. Paramgustasana, inhale breath, crown of head touching the sky, left foot out, right foot out, nicely underneath the shoulders. Inhale again, reaching up, crown of head to sky, exhale, fold forward, getting ready to bind around the big toe. Paramgustasana, hands to toe pose. As you make the bind, the breath will immediately then, when you're ready, inhale, lengthen, expand, Uttanasana, V style. And now exhale to fold. Don't be too worried about, obviously we're trying to straighten the knees, but you can see my knees are not straight. What's more important is the crown of the head down to the ground, the gentle stretch at the back, the compression of torso to thigh, 5 breathing. Lifting up the hands as the right hand goes underneath the right foot. Lift from the front this one, Paramgustasana. Right, hands to feet, but with the hands from the front. Inhale, Uttanasana, be lengthen, expand, try and lift the head up as you're drinking in the air. And now exhale, feel the stretching, the lengthening, telomeres, muscle fibers. Alright, 5 breaths. Inhale, lengthen, expand, exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, all right. Uttita Trikonasana, the small triangle, an inhale breath, crown of head nicely to the sky. Gently as we then turn to the right, with the hands coming out nicely towards a T. Align your chin to your shoulder, get your gaze over your longest finger, feel that line of energy, inhale breath, crown of head to sky. Now go along the horizontal first, and then start dropping. Typically shin, foot or toe, depending on where you are. I'll be gentle for this one. Starting off with the shin. Okay, Drishti is now at the left hand facing into the sky. Whilst looking at the thumb. Alright, going lower. Alright, we'll start our breathing now. Inhale up. Just gently let the feet flow as you adjust to the other side. Left hand side now, chin again to shoulder, drishti over longest finger, nice straight line energy. Inhale, crown of head to sky, lean first, and then you'll go down, On your shin, lift up your right hand nicely up. Okay, let's breathe now. Inhale, up. Okay, touch me. Back we go. Namaskar, hands. Breathe two. Alright. Pavrita Tita Trikonasana, the small triangle with a twist. Inhale, exhale again to the right. Small step, swiveling on the heel, finding the alignment, shoulder and drishti. Inhale, up we go. But this time, trace with the left hand, trace the sky as the hips open completely towards the right hand side, bringing the hand down onto the fingertips. For beginners, I highly recommend sending the right arm first up to the sky and then sending the gaze. This will challenge your balance. Breathe in. Go. Obviously this triangle can be intensified by placing. As we just trace the sky now with the right hand traces the sky as we get the hips to the left hand side. Bring that right hand down, inside or outside, inside for beginners. Send the left hand first. Now send the gaze. And back to breathe. Pars Vakonasana. Pars Vakonasana. This is a big step. This is the big step to the right, the 5.5 feet step. Inhale, crown of head to sky. Step, big step. Aligning. Okay. Right, chin is to shoulder. Chin is to shoulder. Nice. A little bit of a bounce just to try and stretch out, allow the body to open. Okay. Inhale, exhale, Parsvakonasana. It's the hand on the outside of the right foot, flat as possible, creating compression of the right thigh to the side flank as you then make the back, the arm, and the back leg one line of energy. Then slowly start gazing under your armpit at the sky, and we breathe. Up we go. Up we go. Touching. Alright. Adjusting. Bouncing. Bouncing. Alright. Inhale, exhale, left hand, left foot. And compression torso to thigh as we first gaze, drishti over the fingertips. And then as we start breathing, start turning the head underneath the armpit at the sky. As you create a greater turn and pressure between torso and thigh in that movement. Up we go, strong core strength. Up, touch the sides of the world, of the universe, back. Pray, one breath. Uttita, Parsvakonasana, the revolved sideways stretch. Inhale, exhale, stepping 5.5 feet. Okay, heel lands, Chin Drishti. Okay. As we inhale, we're bringing up the left hand, the left arm, touch the sky, and now bring that elbow across. Bring that elbow across. Make prayers. This is beginner's version of the twist. Obviously, it can be advanced. Alright, but totally good. Never rush. Touch. Okay, hand up to the sky, right. Trace the sky, stretching out. Exhale, nice. With that exhale and that motion, you breathe, getting your twist, getting your elbow, hands into Namaskar prayer, drishti at the elbow into the sky. Breathing. Using balance, cool, bandhas, straightening out, floating back to Namaskar, one breath. Prasarita, A, B, C, and D. Inhale, breath. Kind of ignite you to sky. Exhale, big step to the right. Touch the sides. Okay, inhale, pull, crown of head, exhale. Down. Alright, so unlike Monday nights, Nande Olabikapada Paschimottanasana, here the crown of the head does not go into the ground. So check that you're not going to slip if your mat is a bit slippery. This is why sometimes I practice with 2 mats. Okay, because if you want to be sure that your practice is solid and reminding you that this is all about reminding everybody that for yoga all you need is the rectangle. Alright, okay, so you don't want to slip, have a few mats, collect your mats, okay, crown of head down. Alright, let's breathe. And up we go. Up we go. I may need to walk the feet in, but strong, no slipping. Inhale, touch the sides of the universe, grow tall, and now exhale the hands to the hips. Somebody's come behind you, and it is as if there's like a rubber band, so it's pulling your elbows towards each other. Nice open chest, crown of head to sky. And exhale as we lean forward again. Again, attempting our very best to get the crown of the head facing, walking the feet out. Could you almost go into a headstand? Is your vibes. Now up. Touch the sides of the universe. Boom. Exhale. As you now clasp the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers all the way up to the webbing, opening up the chest, crown of head to sky. Inhale, exhale, using the arms now as a cantilever, as a weight, and a bring, so you can bring those hands over the head. One day, okay? It's going to give you that cantilever to really straighten the knees. Breathe for 5. Go, releasing, touching the sides of the universe, and exhale as we now go for the toe, the outside of the foot, but because we touch the ground, we bind, Uttanasana, B-style, inhale, now's big inhale, straighten, and now the release of the crown of the head to the ground, rolling forward like a wheel. Boom. Opening up the left foot. Alright. Bouncing, bouncing, and nicely back to Namaskar. Breathing 1. Parsvottanasana. Inhale. The hands go up above the head. Stretch up, nice and tall. Exhale. As you bring them behind the body, bring the fingertips together, and you're doing a reversed Namaskar with the hands tracing up the back. Okay. Once the hands have settled, inhale, exhale, the 3.5 foot step. Okay, hips nicely spread off to the right hand side. Inhale, crown of head to sky, and exhale as we now come forward. Gazing, drishti is at the toe, the big toe, and the knee instruction is locked out but not. So play with that. You see there is a very specific moment. You first lock it out and then you don't quite release it, and it allows you to bring the face flatter. Gazing at the big toe. And up we go. Up we go. Bringing that right foot back, releasing the hands up into forward Namaskar. Samastitihi. Alright, Ardha Baddha Paschimottanasana. No, I apologize. It's actually a standing Paramgustasana. Now, if I remember correctly. Okay. Alright, apologies for that. Alright, so let's remind ourselves, beginners, we're going with our knees. We're going to hold our knees. And we're going to put our left hand onto our waist. So left hand is onto waist, right is on knees. Breathing, bringing the knee up. 5 breaths. Now, balance as the right knee goes out, right hand side, intense balance as the gaze goes over the left shoulder. Very intense gazing. Alright, let's go. Breathing. Alright. Bring the knee forward, knee to nose touch. If you can, try and balance through it. It's very challenging to keep that foot floating. And 5, point the toe. Alright, let's complete the side. I realize we haven't even stopped for water. Okay, right, okay, up we go. Let's go and have a drink after this. Up and nice, tall, 5 breaths. Left knee out to the left hand side. Now the challenging part, sending the gaze over the right shoulder, the knee and the gaze, opposite directions. Okay, and breathing. Five. Forwards, challenge, bandhas, core strength, knee to nose. Okay, foot in front, Lock out, standing knee, point toe. Alright, namaskar, let's have some water. Let's have some water. Yeah. Alright, I want to tonight complete a full standing series into transition into some groundwork, the very shortened groundwork, but looking through all the main poses of the start of the primary series, the warm-ups aspect. Alright, hands to namaskar again, Adho Baddha Paschimottanasana. Alright, so here, definitely I would use a belt. If anybody has, you might want to try this one. Okay, belt is very useful here, so grab your belt. Okay, it's been a while since I've done this pose. Alright, so we're in namaskar. Alright, the first thing is to bring up the right foot. I use the belt to create a tail. Alright, and then now it's the right hand that comes behind the back. It comes behind the back, and that's what finds the tail. Now pull your leg up using your belt, because eventually you want to be able to bring and bind. Could you bind directly to your big toe? Okay, that is what would ideally happen without a belt. Alright, left hand up to the sky, very tall. Alright, one breath. Now, as we're settling in, I'm going to bend my knees slightly because I need to do this. You may not need to, okay, but if you find this very challenging, we're now going to go down. On one, we're balancing, we want to go and put the left fingertips down, okay, and lock out that knee. It's going to really test balance, ankles. 3, 2, 1, I'm not going to overdo it. It's been a while. This is probably the most challenging pose, one of the most challenging poses in the standing series of the primary series. Alright, we release. Let's not get tense. Alright, let's stay nice and loose. Okay, right, here we go. Left foot in the belt. Let's create the loop. Let's create the loop. Okay. Touch the sky. All right. Exhale. I'm finding the right much easier. Eventually, looking for the confidence to point your crown of your head. Woo, and you can have a swivel. Alright, because actually the gaze is at the knee. It's a very challenging pose. Coming out the best you can. Okay, so that's Adho Baddha Paschimottanasana in this standing position. Alright, back into hands of prayer. Alright, inhale, breath. Nice circle breath. Up, up, up. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen, expand. Exhale, nice jump, float through. Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. Alright, now inhale as you come up to Virabhadrasana. So the standing series ends on a set of Virabhadrasanas and a Bakasana. So it's up, it's warrior 1. 5 breaths. All right. Straightening the knee as we know. This is one of the few times in Vinyasa Yoga where you'll actually swivel to the left. These are very rare in most yoga sequences. Up. Okay. Virabhadrasana. With the front knee big, sorry. The chest is up, 5 breaths. Compression kidneys. now it transitions into Virabhadrasana 2. So both A and B laying down. 5 breaths. Just release the knees, swivel. Very simply, just adjusting the feet to the other side. Settle into Virabhadrasana B. 5 breaths. As that 5th breath finishes, swivel down, big hands, high plank. Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Now. Okay, so for Bakasana, crow pose, this is a balancing pose. The best way to approach this is probably to put your knees down if you've never attempted this before, and then you just get onto your feet as you walk towards your hands. Alright, in a squat, in an open squatting position. Okay, and you press the elbows here onto the knees, onto the section of the muscle of the knees, to create a nice little cushion as well as a good grip. Now, it's a balance. It does require strength, it is strengthening, but it's first balance. So just bring the nose forward, bring the flat, and slowly see if you can bring your weight, so it's just your big toes, and from there, you can then balance. 2, 3, 4, 5, and for tonight's practice, we'll just go gently back. One can shoot the legs back if one is very, very strong in the core when one's done this practice. And if you're vigorous, there's always the vigorous route, but there's also the slow, gentle route. All right. Ten breaths. Paddle sway. Allow that lower back. Just bring up the right leg, bring up the left now, cross the feet and just flow down onto the bum, bring the beginner's transition. Alright, so that was pretty close, I think, to being Dinkum with maybe 1 or 2 errors of the primary series, standing primary series. Alright, let's just go into a wind down, into a flow for this evening. Up to the sky, exhale, Paschimottanasana. Bind to toes, from all digits to digits. Another inhale breath, Uttanasana, B start, trying to lift up the head, drinking in the air through the crown of the head. Exhale to fold. Okay, as I mentioned, go towards the heels as you pull down with the elbows. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go straight into bridge, a nice simple inversion, just do a little bit of inversion, just stretching of the spine, one of the nicer seated poses, and I find a gentle inversion. And it's alright, so behind our backs, we're lifting up our hips, and we clasp our hands underneath, as we then walk those shoulder blades down to really facilitate that open chest, okay, and we're lifting up. Right, remember there's the sense of spiraling the inner thighs inwards as you're lifting up from the pelvic region. Alright, holding, breathing. sets in the seated series. Set number 2. Inhale, exhale, lifting up the bum, clasping the hands, walking the shoulder blades, getting as much lift as possible, spiraling the thighs inwards, and let's breathe. And release. Release. I'm going to go for a hug. Let's go for a hug on the knees because I'm going to try and do Dhanasarasana, the full Dhanasarasana next. So I'm compressing. Then I'm releasing. Either repeat bridge, or if you want to try, I'm going to just do this because I haven't done this for some time. So I want to see if I can still do it. Turning the hands backwards. Okay. And the first lift, okay, checking that your mat or you're not going to slip. Alright, and your first lift is to go to the crown of the head. Up to the crown of the head. And then from there, inhale, exhale, pushing up. And your belly head. This is a bit fun. Beautiful work. Thank you, ladies. Great support. Great support. Just hug. Roll. Side to side. Lower back massage. Okay. All right. And releasing. Releasing. Feet down. Feet down. All right. From here, just a roll up. Okay, so that was the standing series. Very quick, short wind down. Just showing the transitions. Okay, next week we're going to probably go at a faster pace, much faster pace in the standing series, and start getting in a little bit more of the seated series. All right, Padmasana. All right, Yoga Sutra. Up go the hands, up, point them to the sky, we're happy. We then bring our left hand, we're happy with our yoga, we're happy with our discipline. We fold our yoga and our discipline into us, we grab, okay, looking down at the ground, and then inhale that Uttanasana B, Jaladandhara Bandha as well. And now just breathe, as you're just looking forward gently, sealing in your practice. The last poses of the primary series, we start going into 10 breaths, slowly releasing Ujjayi breathing. This will be doing Ujjayi to the last pose there, and then releasing. First finger and thumb, Gyan Mudra, Yana Mudra, chin. And gently opening our eyes, and slowly above our heads. Victory for ourselves, for all the yogis, our fellow community members, who help us to our hearts, for our developing compassion, understanding, to our mouths, being more careful with what we say and how we say it, and to our minds, always learning, and thanking you for your practice. Namaste. Yeah, guys. Next week we'll definitely pick up. I might shorten a few suryas, we'll see, so we can explore. So going a little bit into seated, a bit more seated the hour. But it's been good just getting the flow again, going again too, you know.